To run the feasibility study, what user will be doing, he'll go to my computer, DG. You can also log in by giving a right click. So in this case, I'll be logging as the development person. Let's say we'll say Shafi login. Once when you log in, I'll go to the workspace, RFQ folder where I have the feasibility study. I'll open the file. I'll check with the details. Now to edit this file, as I said before, the file should be checked out. So to check out, you can either check out directly by selecting the file, give a right click, check out, or select the file. You can check out from the top toggle menu, or you can do the same thing from your SolidWorks PDM, add inside your file itself. So to check out, I can check out from here itself. In meantime, since the file has been changed from new RFQ to under feasibility study, this development people will get a notification. Now in Dhananjay group company, the notification is set by default as a email notification. In this example, I'll show you how the notification will look like. So I have seen the pop-up. So the mail says something like this: the following files has changed the state from new RFQ to under feasibility study. Operation performed by Arshad Khan, date and time. The user will also see the comments written by the previous user. Please run the feasibility study and let us know the results. Feasibility study required. Apart from this, or advanced to this, user will also have the flexibility to see the hyperlinks. So to open the file, let me say I'll close this window. To open the file, the user can directly click on this, which will take you to the file itself. To see the properties, I'll click on properties and I can see all the file properties here itself. To see the history, I'll click on history and I can see the history. To go to the folder where I have the file, I'll click on the file folder to directly take me to the folder where I have the file. So it's very easy in SolidWorks PDM to link everything in and integrate. So for now, let me check out. So I have checked out as Shafi. I'll open the file. Right. I'll go to RFQ. I'll see the details, feasibility study. Let me add. So as you can see, I'm just adding some details. So I've added some details. Let's take one as an example. Once when I make sure I have completed the design, I'll save. So to use, you can check in from here or you can check in directly from here. Right click, check in. I've added the comments. I'll say check in. So once when the user makes sure, or in this case Mr. Shafi makes sure that clearly it is done, he can directly right click, change state. Now you can see all the three options: feasible, feasible with a deviation, not feasible, and regret. Depending on the user results of your feasibility study, we'll select the option. In this case, let me go ahead and select feasible. I'll say OK. So now the file changed its state from under feasibility study into input costing under process. So if you come back to, let me just close this, the process, now the file is in the input costing under process. In this case, designer will come into picture where he'll run a basic analysis for costing and he creates a report on basic costing or the pre-final costing of that RFQ. So to explain that, let's log off with Sheffy and log in as a designer. In this case, he'll be Kailash. I've logged in. Now the mail is in process. He'll get the mail. In meantime, it should directly go to the server and it will come back to the user. Workspace, RFQ, the file, checkout, open the file. Yeah, see, I have a notification from PDM. Now the file says the same thing, under feasibility to input costing from Sheffy. Time and the comments. So here I'll see the details of RFQ feasibility study. Once when I understand these details, I can directly go here, right click, new. In this case, I'll just take an empty Excel file, but in the case of costing, they have their own template which will be created to every different customer in a different way. Let me take this file to the customer reference. Let's say I've seen the details, don't save. I'll go to customer reference. Let's say I've added some details, save, close. I can rename this. Done. Once when I'm done, I'll say chicken. I've given the details as my comments. I'll say chicken. So to make sure it is clear, if I select the file and if I go to history, I can see all the details. Input costing report. Right? So once when the designer, Mr. Kailash, makes sure everything is fine, right click, change state, costing is done. Right, and I'll say okay. So now the file is in waiting for customer confirmation. In background there will be the marketing which will come into picture. Log off Mr. Kailash, log in Mr. Let's say this time I'll say Vijay. Okay, let's say I'll take Arshad itself. design workspace RFQ. So I have the file which is under waiting for customer confirmation. In this phase, let me explain you the process once again. Now the file which we have created started its journey at new RFQ, under feasibility study, input costings, then waiting for customization, in the customer confirmation. In this situation, marketing person will take care of the input costings and create the final costing report, which will be added to the quotation sent from Dhananjay group of companies to the customer, in this case Bajaj. Once when the customer receives the details of the quotation, once if everything is fine, if the customer is okay with the quotation, he'll say confirm. In this case, we have several outputs. One, customer is okay with the quotation. Customer accepted the quotation but with a deviation. Customer rejected the quotation, or customer initiated a change. So depending on the output, user will see the options. Right click, change state, see customer accepted with a deviation, customer rejected, ECN initiated by customer, read in the feasibility with deviation, or start project. Other than start project, all these options will take the file back to the feasibility or reject the RF. If the marketing person says start project, that in turn says that customer accepted the quotation. I'll say okay. So now inputs fixed, procuring tools, it's here. Once when all the inputs are fixed, once when the marketing development manager or the development people gets all the details, development manager will again select the file and he'll say create CTQ or PFD. CTQ is critical to quality, PFD is process flow diagram. This is the phase where the design actually gets started. This is done. Let me log in. I've logged in as Mr. Amul, the development manager. Right click. Let's say we'll assume everything is fixed for the inputs. I'll say create CTQ and PFD. I've given the comment and I'll say okay. So if you can see here, the file is under CTQ PFT under design. This is where the market let me go to the process here. Now this is where the development people will come into picture. Once when the development people clearly confirms and create the process. If I open the RFQ file, here they have a development plan. This is where they create the CTQ process or the PFD process. Now PFD process contains, in this customer's example, many inputs like what is the plan and what is happening and what are the days we have in our hand. Design feasibility study, tool designing, material receipt, my side milling, surface grinding, VMC, machine, heat treatment, all these details are charted in detail. Once that is done, they'll give the tool design inputs. This will be filled by many people. Usually it will be filled by development manager and the marketing person. Once that is clear, the file will be sent to start tool design. Once that is done, the designer will log into his computer and creates a small design. Let me show you an example. I'll close this. I'll log off. Log in. Let's say I'll log in as the manager itself. Now here, till now, you have seen how the RFQ process is used. In this, from now, we'll be seeing how the project is created. In first, to create a project, user will give a right click, new project. RFQ number, part number. Let's see the part number. ANT 4698. Part type, is it a part or an assembly? It's a part. Customer, Bajaj. Previously we have given the SOP date. Now we'll be given the due date. Due date will be 30th November 2017. I'll say OK. Once that is done, when the user goes to the workspace, projects, he'll see the project created. It's not just a project, it's a folder structure created as a project. If I select the project itself, I'll see all the details, the project number, project name, customer, RFQ, and all the details of RFQ. If I go inside, I have my design data, documentation, spare drawing, and specifications. So usually designer creates his design data in design data. To create, I'll open SolidWorks. Let's take a new part file. I'll take a new part file. Right. I'll create something. Let's say a sheet metal part. Sheet metal base. I'll take a thickness of 1 mm. I'll add an edge flange over here at a distance 100 mm. Over here as well, but in this case I'll add the profile where I want this to be 300. Finish. So I've added some design. I'll save. To save, I'll go to DZC, workspace, projects, the one which we have created now, design data, and I'll save. Since SolidWorks PDM and SolidWorks are perfectly integrated together, I don't need to give a name to my part file or an assembly or a drawing. The file will be renamed perfectly with the default name structure where Dhananjay has been using from many days. It will directly pop me up the card of my part file. I'll say base plate, model AM65, vendor, it's in-house part, weight I'll add a material which will be added made material and cast. Element type, it's top plate, bottom plate, punch plate, you can select accordingly. I'll say punch plate, or I'll say back plate. ACP number, tool code, FGS, and I'll say OK. All these details have not only gone into my car but also into the custom properties of that file itself. You can see all the files, all the details has been added by default. In this case, let me add a material. For now, I'll say 1060Li. I'll save. I'll add the details here itself. Material, weight, material link to material, weight link to mass. I'll save and I'll close. When I come back here, I can see the file has been created. Not only created, all the details has been added. Weight, material, element type, type of the part, everything. The cost will be added if the user runs the cost analysis. Revision will be added once the file is approved. Check-in. So once when the file is check-in, the file will come directly to the tool under design process. If you come to the process, it's under tool under design. So the process is simple. The file will be under tool under design. Once the design is done, tool will be submitted for approval. Tool waiting for approval. In tool waiting for approval, either the design manager, development manager, or the development people can approve the file to send for manufacturing. If something is wrong, there will be sent for tool DCR. So if something is wrong, the file will come back to tool editing required. If everything is right, the file will be sent for tool manufacturing. Under tool manufacturing, if the manufacturer finds there is some mistake, he'll say tool DCR. Tool will be changed for approval. If the DCR is approved, again it will go for tool waiting for approval. If DCR is rejected, it will directly come back to tool under manufacturing. Once that is done, to go for tool approval, here development manager will approve it to approved. Once everything is fine, the manager from development department, Mr. Amul Mogale, he need to send the file for mass production. To do that, he'll select the file just like change state and he'll say release for mass production. In this case, in the customer's place, there are several mass production locations like DMCPL1, DMCPL2, DMCPL3, DE1, DE2, DACPL, DAP. Right? So in these places, accordingly, Mr. Amol Mogle will select which location should be manufacturing this file. Once that is in mass production, there will be mass production, and if something is wrong, it will be sent for a request change after manufacturing. And here again the designer will come into picture, make the changes, send for approval, and again it will go for tool under manufacturing. So this is a cyclic process which will happen in the hands of marketing, design, development, design manager, marketing manager, and development manager. These are the three departments who will take care of these two processes of RFQ and CAD. Apart from this, there are again two processes, one which is quality, second which is servicing. Right now, at this point of time, we haven't implemented fully with servicing, which is saved for future. So there is one process that is quality. Let me show you in a basic example how the quality will work. So I have logged in. I'll go to the vault. So at any point of time, if the user want to create a quality document, he just give a right click, new, and here he have QA reports, QMS. In customer's place, there are again two more processes, one for PROD, its production, other for maintenance. So depending on the quality document which user want to create, he'll just select the document here. I'll say QA. If I say daily production report, I'll select the plant, let's say DMCPL1, shift, first shift, file type. So this is daily production report, DPPR production report. I'll say okay. It's just a right click. That's done. Let's go to workspace. So here I have my QA reports. I have my DPR. If I open the file is open and it has all the details inside. So this is how the quality process has been linked. To do this furthermore, let me check in the file. So once when I check in the file will directly go for report creation initiated. Let me explain the process here. I close this and I'll open the quality process. It's a simple process where there will be one single approval. At this point of time, Mr. Nitin Kodonkar is the person. He'll be approving the files as the top level management for quality. So the steps are like this. Once when the file is checked in, file will directly go to file report creation initiated. Once when the user finds everything is fixed, he'll say send report for review. Under report under review is the state where Mr. Nitin Kodankar will be logging in and checking the file. If everything is fine, the report is correct. If something is wrong, report have some NC. Here again, the person who created the report should make the changes to make sure everything is under standard and send the file back to review. Once that is done, report is finalized. It's a simple process for all the quality documents inside SolidWorks PDM. So the last one here, let's say I want to search a file. At any point, let me come back to the main folder here. If the user want to search a file, he'll just click on the PDM search. I hope there is a small setting problem. Let me set this correctly. I've added all the users other than admin. Sorry for that. Refresh, search. Yeah, now I can see. So to search any file inside SolidWorks PDM, user have a flexibility either to enter one single detail or multiple inputs. The user have the flexibility to enter n number of inputs to search his file or to filter the searched files in depth. For example, let me say I'll go to cards, I'll go to process. Let's say I want to search a SolidWorks part file where, let's say I have a material. To search, user have a flexibility either to enter one small detail or the full name. In this case, I'll start with a star because I don't know the starting. I'll say alloy and I'll end with a star. search. See, it's very easy. I have my file here. I can also filter. For example, this file is in-house part manufacturer file. If I drag here, you can see it is in-house. Let's say if I want to search for more, I'll say bought out and I'll search. Now I don't have any results because it's not bought out, it's in-house. I'll select in-house. Now I have the file. In this point, I can see all the details, either the SAP code, tool code, FGS code, state, part number, found in, all the details, or I can click the file, right click, browse to, or browse to new window, which will directly take me to the folder where I have the file. So hope you have understood what SolidWorks PDM is of Dhananjay group of companies. If you have something as a query, you people know how to contact me. This is Harikishan, Beacon, SolidWorks, Senior Application Engineer. Thanks for watching. Bye.